I've been talking, it feels like we've been covering the property market and the sort of policies to try and make housing affordability come true in China for the longest time. What are we seeing now?
Yeah, we've really seen an onslaught of regulatory issues in the past few days. I think this time there are a few signals showing that this is different. For one, Vice Premier Han Zheng has said that they do not plan to use property as a short-term tool to bolster the economy again. And also, the Housing Bureau has said that they will hold local officials where they see huge spikes in property prices. The cities where they see these spikes, they'll hold these officials accountable. So these are two pretty strong signs that the government is very serious. I think if you take a step back, the crackdowns in the property sector do mirror those we're seeing in the education sector and other private businesses. These are some of the biggest sectors that have been blamed for increasing inequity, and that is really what sits at Xi Jinping's core policy right now, which is to go after these sectors that have been accused of hoarding wealth and creating social inequity.
But the real estate sector accounting for more than 10% of the Chinese economy, right? So how challenging is it that you try to tamp down prices but not really hurt broader growth?
Yeah, China has so far not been able to tame the rising prices in property, partly because of the inflationary environment. And also, Chinese households do tend to use property as a way to restore and maintain their wealth. The government has a pretty delicate balancing act here because just the sheer amount of exposure the Chinese banking system has to the property sector. It's the biggest exposure they have in terms of loans. This sector accounts for about 28% of outstanding loans for Chinese banks. So they need to be sure that they're not triggering any systemic risks when they try to curb property prices.